From the Demons, let's check in on the Cowboys, who are out in beautiful state of Utah. What a great night for football in terms of the scoreboard, but Matt Viator had his team out there facing Utah State. First drive of the game, Aggies go 72 yards, but at the end zone, Javen Jacobs, one of those, Scott, stretched the ball over the line, but it's always dangerous because look at the scrum. The ball comes loose, they would check it again, and indeed, McNeese forces the fumble right there. Always a dangerous play.
Yeah, back reaches out for that goal line, and it's a great opportunity as a defensive player to swipe up that ball and create a turnover.
Unfortunately for the Cowboys, they went 3 and out. Then Utah State hits big. Bryson Barnes to a wide open Kahanu Davis. 45 yards, certainly a busted play there for the Cowboys. 6-0 as they would miss the 2-point conversion. Another 3 and out for McNeese, and another big play for the Aggies. Barnes to Brady Boyd. He gets past the defense, and he's off to the races. 53 yards on a 2-play drive, and it's 13-0 Utah State. Second quarter, Aggies starting to make it look easy. Miles Davis, he's going to write a song about this. 30 yards on the left side. He gets it in the end zone. 20-0 after a 4-play drive. Previously a 2-play drive for the score. You kind of get where this is going. Finally, an offensive spark for the Cowboys, though, courtesy of Javonte Citizen. Up the middle. Breaking away, it's 51 yards before they finally bring him down inside the 25-yard line. McNeese keeps it going, right side, get into the end zone for the Cowboys. Finally on the scoreboard, but here come the Aggies once again. Barnes on the keeper, look at him hit the brakes, turns it upfield, 24 yards here. That sets up a 3-yard touchdown. This would make it 27-7 Aggies. Closing minute of the first half. Barnes again on the scramble, sits back in the pocket, sees the opening, takes off 20 yards up the middle down to the 1. Very next play, Javen Jacobs would take it in for Utah State. Kind of see the night it was. Beautiful area of the country to be in. Not so much on the field last night for the Cowboys. They were challenged. Utah State just a little too much. In the end, they wound up getting the win by the final score of 48-7, 239 yards from McNeese. But look at the six-burger, 627 for Utah State. It's the first time since 2012 the Cowboys have faced 2 FBS teams in the same season. Next up for the Cowboys, they'll open up conference play. They'll stay on the road, but it's a much shorter trip. They will take on Stephen F. Austin. As we take a look for what the Cowboys were able to do for their schedule, and again, you've played some of these bigger challenges, what you can learn from them as they now get into conference play. Matt Viator has proven he knows what he's doing in the Southland Conference. He's had success before. Now you got to take what you've learned, take some of these bumps and bruises that they had. Really a game a couple weeks ago they could have had. The 2-point conversion, he made that decision, could have tied it, maybe get a win. Yep. You take all of that now, package it up, let's get ready to go to conference play.
That's exactly right. So the theme of the show is the silver lining, the glass half full message to most of these teams who suffered a loss is we're getting into conference play. Those were where most of our goals were set. And what these other games were about learning what our deficiencies are, our inefficiencies, things we need to improve. I think if you're McNeese, you want to improve the pass game. Listen, quarterback Jake Strong has been their MVP of their team. He's been outstanding all year. But how can we get him in a rhythm in the passing game? Get that passing game going earlier. Do we need to throw more screens? Do we need to throw more 3-step drops, more rhythm throws to get him going? Because really, like I said, you're just using these early season games to find out what we need to do better getting into conference play.
Citizen outstanding on the ground. Jake Strong is your reigning offensive player of the week in the Southland Conference from a week ago, but need to try to step up when they get into conference. And it starts next week because, as we mentioned, they'll be on the road at Stephen F. Austin. But then it continues. You'll be against Southeastern Louisiana. That'll be a big game against the Lions before the Cowboys finally hit their bye week. And then you see down the stretch 3 road games in a row. In fact, 4 of the last 5, Scott, will be on the road. So the challenge will be there for the Cowboys to take advantage at home early because then you'll be traveling a lot, needing some big wins.
Absolutely. You got to take care of business when you're at home in front of your fans and in front of your crowd to get that momentum. But when you get on the road later in the season, you don't, as a coach, you're telling your team, it doesn't matter where we play late in the season. We're not going to be the same team at that point in the season that those teams were watching earlier in the season. It's about improving every single week and being a completely different team, better at the end of the season than you were at the beginning.